Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Now, what should I talk? The best communication is through the eloquence of silence. That which is revealed through the silence is the truth. And this silence is not against the sounds. There are different types of silences. One silence is against the sound. Therefore, everywhere you see in all the ashrams, everywhere, keep silence, keep silence. The meditation groups, they sit and everybody is told, keep silence. Outside a board is put there. Meditation in progress, take detour. Don't disturb. We are already disturbed. We don't need external disturbance. So we get slowly in a understanding that we should be silent and see how peaceful it is, beautiful, quiet. But how long will you remain in silence? So, externally silent, internally volatile. This is how many people for the spirituality, they practice maunam, silence. And then they don't want to talk to anybody. But they have to talk. Without talking, how can you communicate? So they go with a pad and a paper. And then they will ask. It happened in Haridwar once. I went to meet some Mahatma. The secretary told, sorry, Mahatma Ji is in silence. He doesn't talk to anybody. I said, okay, Baba, don't scold. I'm going. So I was going. After 2 minutes, he came running behind. You please come. Swamiji has called you. I said, how can he call me? He's on silence. He said, don't argue. I said, okay, quick. I went there. And then he was sitting there in Maunam. I was given a small chair. I sat there. He wrote, what's your name? Where from you have come? And all that. So every question, in writing I replied. My name, where from I have come, where do I stay here? And in that, I forgot that I can talk. Somebody may ask a question in writing, but I need not reply in writing. When I realized that, I laughed. And he also realized, he also laughed. Then I asked him a question. Sir, laughing is allowed in silence. Bhagavad Gita tells the real silence is not that of the speech. Real silence is, please come. Unless you want to sit. If you want to go, you go. Please, please, go ahead. We don't get disturbed. We are disturbance proof. So, Bhagavad Gita tells, Mauna is what? Mana prasada saumyatvam maunam atma vinigraha. Mauna is not the discipline of speech. It is the discipline of mind. Then what is the discipline of speech? Anudvegakaram vakyam satyam priyahitam chayat. Talk in such a way that the listener need not get agitated, disturbed. But tell the truth. Don't praise somebody to please somebody. unless you are in a corporate world. See, there, unless you do that, you don't get promotion and your money. Therefore, the real spiritual life begins. What we think we are walking spiritual path is a self-deception through ignorance. The real spiritual life begins when we start working on our mind. For us, spirituality means do good to others, don't shout at somebody, help somebody. If somebody is hungry, give him the leftover. See, and then for that, open an NGO and collect funds for serving the society. Anything which is done by collecting funds is NGO, non-godly organization. See? You earn, and out of your earning, whatever you can, you spend for charity. Collecting funds and doing charity is not the real spiritual life. But Mahatmas like us, they do that. Collect funds. Like one person asked me, Swamiji, why don't you start schools, colleges? We are with you. We'll help you. I said, no, I don't want. But why? I said, I don't know. I'm not interested. No, no, there must be some reason. I said, if you want to listen, then be prepared. I don't talk sugar-coated words. I tell you the truth. Are you ready? He said, yes. I said, why should I open the school? बच्चे तुम पैदा करो. You produce the children. And I run the school. Am I mad or what? And tell me, which Mahatma is told by which society you start the schools? Nobody is told. Which Mahatma is told that you open an ashram by the society? Nobody. It is their own khujli that we get involved in this world. Now, next step, very important. When we take this world as very solid reality, then only we will start thinking in terms of the world. Here we come in the field called as Dharma Shastra or religion. And then we are told the Vidhi Nished, the do's and don'ts. How should we live in this world? Help others, don't cheat others, Satyam Vada, Dharmam Chara, Swadhyaya Anma Pramadaha, Acharyaya Priyam Dhanamarutya, Prajatantum Ma Vyavatshetsi, Satyanna Pramaditavyam, Dharmanna Pramaditavyam, Bhutyaina Pramaditavyam. See, this is Dharma Shastra. Then how long will you do it? Can we afford to remain in KG1 throughout life? Suppose I ask a grown-up person, hey, what are you doing? I am in KG1. Now also, now you are 35. You know, but I like that miss. But now she has become Dadima. When you have become 35, she is not the same. So as the KG1, KG2 is necessary, but that is not all. We have to graduate. Exactly the same way. Yes, we have to live in this world. Money is necessary. We should have good relations. We should have good time. No doubt about it. But that is not all. See? Now here all of you have got everything. Good placement, good houses, good health, good money. What next? Are you at peace with yourself? What we are doing in our whole life is struggling to seek happiness. Until such time we are seeking happiness, we declare the bankruptcy of bliss. See, in one school in Goa, they had invited me. I was not well that time. So I told, come on, other than my two regular lectures, morning, evening, no other lecture. So organizer said, no, okay, no lecture. And then, Swamiji, we already promised somebody, please don't say no. हमारी नाक कट जाएगी. मैंने मेरा गला कट रहा उसका क्या है? Finally, I had to go there. I said, okay. Now keep the students of only one class, class 10, class 9, homogeneous group. In a classroom, I'll talk to them. Okay, Swamiji. When I went there, the whole school was sitting in the open ground with the big mic from KG1 up to 12th standard. Such a heterogeneous group. Now, how can you talk to a heterogeneous group? So when I was looking at these KG1, KG2 small kids, they are sitting. When I am the middle class students, when I am looking at them, they are so anxiously listening. And grown up students, class 10, 12, three varieties. Now, how can you talk? Then I found, there's no way that I can talk to them. So I said, hey, we'll all play some game. Because when you play game, age bar is not there, group is not there. So, okay, we'll play game. Then I said, okay, I'll ask you a question, you reply. Then I asked, who wants happiness? Raise your hands. So all the children raise their hands. We want happiness. Very good, hands down. Then I said, now who doesn't want happiness? Raise the hands. There were only two. There was one girl from class 9 or 10, and another boy from class 5 or 6. There is. I said, you two please come. I was sitting like this on a couch. Come. They sat next to me. They were shivering. Probably we had done some mistake. Swamiji just called in front of everybody. Now something is going to happen. I said, don't worry, relax, relax. Then I said, our game continues. Then I asked him, who wants food? The answer will be, the one who is hungry, is it not? So all the children, yes, Swamiji. It's very good. Then I asked, who wants water? The one who is thirsty, is it not? Yes, Swamiji. Who wants happiness? The one who is miserable, is it not? Yes, Swamiji. Then I told these two kids, they are happy. Therefore, they are not seeking happiness. You all are miserable. Then these children, we are superior than others. See, friends, don't seek happiness in life. Discover happiness. We call scientific seeking or scientific discoveries discovery. What is the meaning of discovery? Something is already existing. Discovery doesn't create anything. Something is already existing. But it was covered with a veil of ignorance. So that which remains unknown because of ignorance is revealed by removing the ignorance. See? Doesn't it happen in our house? Sometimes the car keys are in our hand and we are searching everywhere. Then shout at this and that. And finally we hit our hand on our head. Oh God, where did I get? Oh, it is in my hand. So it is not created, it is discovered. When you discover happiness, then you never lose it. But when you seek happiness, you lose it. How we lose it? We imagine, be very attentive. Our mind's functioning we have to know. First, mind perceives something. After the perception, the mind doesn't stop. Then the mind starts projections. So the projections are what? This object is good. This object is a possible source of happiness. This object I do not have. Unless I get that object, I won't be complete. I won't be happy. This process of projection of the mind after the perception entangles us. And as a result, we become victim to our own thoughts. If we practice this, see the world, but don't react. Reaction in terms of projections. These basics, if they are clear, then we start understanding many things very simple way. That we only imagine this object is a source of happiness. We only imagine I am not happy because I don't have that object. We only imagine if I get that object I will be happy. Now this imagination makes us seek that object as a source of happiness. And you get that object. After you get that object, how many days you enjoy that? Mind cannot remain attracted toward the same thing for a longer period of time. That is the nature of the mind. And we have not learned from that mind's stupid habits. Friends, spiritual life begins when we have decided to learn from every experience of life. Spiritual life is not in the books. See, by reading books, you may become erudite scholar, give lecture to others, and create an illusion of wisdom. You know, the highest illusion is the illusion of wisdom. I know everything. While giving the lecture, I am Brahman. After the lecture, I am Brahma. See? You must have seen Mahatmas like us, they will be giving the lecture. Trividham narakasedam dvaram nashanamaatmanaha kama krodhastatha lobaha tasmade tatrayam tyajet. Desire, anger and greed are the three gateways to hell. Therefore, give them up. This is said by the Mahatma in the lecture. And somebody comes late. The moment he comes late, he loses his cool. Is it a marketplace or what? Get out. And everybody. What I was talking? Trividham narakasedam dvaram nashanam atmanaha. So where that Mahatma is booked to the hell. See, friends, talking Vedanta is the easiest thing in life. We have to live it every moment. And living Vedanta begins when we have decided to learn from every experience. See? That's why very many people ask, who is your guru? This happened on Bombay airport. I was sitting waiting for my flight. One Sindhi gentleman came and he said, can I sit here? I said, how do I know whether you can sit or not? Okay, I'll sit. I said, sit. He said, Babaji, what is your name? I said, Babaji. You just now called me Babaji. Who is your guru? So I touch his feet. Maharaj, Guru Maharaj, you are my guru. He got so frustrated. Then he asked, how are you going by flight? I showed the boarding pass. I am not going without ticket. But where from you get the money? I said, now you met me. While parting, will you go without giving me money? He was caught. When you meet somebody, you call him Babaji. When you are parting, you will not go like that. It is a tradition that you have to give some money to the Mahatmas when you meet. Okay. No further questions. Dear friends, for me, you are all my gurus. What I have learned from you all is unparalleled. See, friends. Because Guru is not a person somewhere outside. Guru is our ability to learn from every passing experience. In Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran, Bhagwan Dattatreya is a Avadut. And the king, Prutu, he asked, Yadu probably, Yadu Vamshi, Yadu king. He asked that Avadut, Sir, you have nothing. You have no kingdom, you have no family, you have no nothing. How come you are so happy? He said, therefore I am happy. Our happiness is dependent. Dependent happiness is a bondage. See? Open the door. So the king said, how come, where did you learn it from? Who is your guru? So Bhagwan Dattatreya says, I have got 24 gurus. Those who are poor people, they have only, come Amma, comfortably come. You are not committed a crime. Sit down, relax. So, I have learned from 24 gurus. Because if you learn, then only that Guru Tattva is manifesting in your heart. If you don't learn, what the Guru will do? See? You can take the horse to the waters. Can you make him drink? You try to make him drink, but he will make water, not drink water. Then what will you do? Bhagwan Shankaracharya says there are 4 types of students. The teacher is the same Acharya. So, first type of student is called Uttam Adhikari, the best. In one go, he catches the point, and that's it. Second is Madhyam Adhikari, who understands 50% according to his convenience. Then the third type of student is Adham Adhikari. Adham means what? He just doesn't understand anything. And the fourth one is the superlative degree. He understands exactly opposite. See? So, if the person is a guru, he should be able to teach everybody the same thing, is it not? What is the difference? Because the guru who is in our heart is our learning ability. That learning ability must be kept alive. And when you keep this principle of learning in your life, you will never become old. See? Who is a child? A child is the one who learns. So let the child in us not die. Don't become old. See? You must have seen sometime taking your kids to the market. And they have recently started learning ABCD. So they will hold, Mommy, wait. And then they will start looking at the board and read loudly to show to mummy. BATA. And he feels so good. I read. See? The child. And he's so happy out of it. I could read. See? I tell you my experience about this. I was in Calcutta. And there I was learning Bengali. Bengali is a language which you have to learn by keeping Rasgulla in the mouth. Then only you can talk. Otherwise, you cannot talk that language. So, when I learned, then I was going out somewhere. Then I saw one shop, a clock shop. Watches were there. So, I stood and was reading the board, which was written in Bangla. With great difficulty, I was reading. Because I saw it is a watch. So, Gha, Di, Ka, Du, Ka, Na. I was so happy I could read. There was a Bengali behind me. Not like this. I didn't know. So they know how it is. Godi ke dokan. Godi ke dokan. Bengali. See? The day you start learning, you have entered the spiritual path. Normally, with our mind, what we do? We complain. See, elderly people, they don't have questions. They have got complaints. See? And the common complaint that we hear is about the children. Swamiji, our children, instead of complaining, think properly. See, we are simultaneously parent and children, is it not? Two in one. To our parents, we are children. To our children, we are parents. Have any one of us ever complained and regretted, I wish my mom was Marilyn Monroe? Why? Because we have no choice in choosing the friends, right? We have no choice. Now tell me, what choice you have to choose your children? So as you don't complain about your parents, don't complain about your children. See, let them live their life. See, you have destroyed your life, let them destroy their life. Don't help them. But all the time the same thing. Swamiji, you will see this thing, I see with a very pathetic look. NRIs among themselves, tremendous competition. Your daughter is going for Bharatanatyam. My son is going for tennis. Bharatanatyam is not everybody's bite. Only the Tamilians can do Bharatanatyam. See, there is one family in here only. They are Maharashtrians. The Maharashtrians have no dance in them. So that girl was taught, rather compelled, you go and learn Bharatanatyam. She is not interested, but competition among the parents, NRI parents. And what is Bharatanatyam? Hit the floor for no fault of the floor. And there is a technique in that. But this girl didn't know because it is not in her genes. See? Bharatanatyam is nothing but simple things made complicated. We do namaste like this and they ghuma fira karke. Arey yaar, chhado na. So that girl that did, Bharatanatyam hitting the floor for nothing. And as a result, she got the, her heel hit so much, paining. And for 2 years, she was in class 6 and 7. 2 years she was going to school on a wheelchair. Could you imagine? Everything they tried, nothing could help her. And then the elderly people, all elderly people only complain. So, we have not done to anything to anybody. Why this is happening to our daughter only? It's constantly complaining. So, her father, he got very wild one day. He told the elders at home, "You only brought me to Swamiji." Now, what he told? Basic principle of life. Cause and effect is an illusion. Why? Because the sky is too high. There's nothing like why. See, will you phone to a fire brigade like this? Hello, how are you? Everything is fine at home? How many kids you have got? Which place you are from? So what the person will say? Come on, man, what you want? No, my house is on fire. If you get time, please drop in. Will you say like this? When your house is on fire, you will not even tell where you are. You will shout, "My house is on fire, please come fast." Because you have got the urgency. You don't find out what is the cause of the fire. Let us decide first the cause of the fire. अरे पहले उसको शांत करो ना. Quieten it first. Exactly the same way. Solve the problem as early as possible rather than getting lost. Why? See, friends. And this can happen only if our mind is at peace. A disturbed person cannot think. He only worries. Worries is also thinking, and inquiry is also thinking. Worries is a kind of thinking where we get entangled in our own thoughts. And inquiry is a kind of thinking wherein we come out of our own thoughts. See the difference. Therefore, the real spiritual practice begins when we start learning, and learning happens only in the mind. Body doesn't learn, the mind learns. See, body doesn't have any experience, only the mind has the experience. See? Like when you are in deep sleep, and imagine some creature passes on your body, the body will not know because the mind has dropped the body. In deep sleep, mind is not identified with the body. Now, this is theoretical, but practically I learned in my own life from an experience. From that day onward, the things are totally clear and distinct. There was something wrong with my toe, big toe. So, one of my friend, a doctor, when he did Namaskar, he said, "Swamiji, we have to remove it, it is bad afterwards." I said, "Okay, we'll remove it." He said, "Come, I'll do it." So, I went with him to his clinic and sat on the chair, put my foot on the stool. He gave local anesthesia, and after about 10 minutes, then he saw there is no feeling. And he said, "You can see now." And with the scalpel, he cut straight away. Blood was oozing, I could see that. He removed whatever was that with a scoop like that thing. And then he stitched it. Everything I saw, no pain. That day I discovered that mind, the toe was in meditation. Mind has not entered the toe. So where are all the experiences happening? In the mind. And what care we have taken about the mind? Nothing. See, friends, we are not even aware of this, whether our mind is responding or reacting. Response is born out of wisdom. Reaction is born out of default settings. See? Most of the time, we are reacting in the world. And then we are left with nothing but complaints. Why the world is like this thing? See? And then, as we have trained ourselves to think, in the light of that training, we will start looking at the world. See? Now, one example I'll give you. थोड़ा इधर सरक जाओ, बैठने दो प्रभु को, देख रहिए विचारे को. But then you are hiding that sweet Amma. I know both of them are fighting for the support. Support each other. So, how we are trained ourselves, according to that training, we start thinking in life. One example I'll give, and then we'll come to the method of proper thinking. This happened, this I had told in some of my talks. This happened in Rishikesh, on the banks of Ganges. I was just walking, nice place. There was a ghat, steps made, and there was a child who was crying. I was standing there, and I am not concerned. I don't get influenced by these things. There were three ladies. You know the gender bias in the Bollywood films, gender bias. When the movie is about the ladies, teen deviyan. When it is about the gents, three idiots. Is it not? Gender bias. So there were three deviya, teen deviya. And I was watching the Ganges and seeing everything, enjoying the breeze. So whenever people see us, they start asking questions because I'm a questionable personality. There is no need, but they have to ask questions. बिचारे स्वामी जी आगे कोई पूछ भी नहीं रहा. अरे. So they ask me, why this child is crying? You can look here, the child is crying. How do I know? I said, you imagine why the child is crying. Tell me. Just to keep them busy. One was mother. So mother knows only one thing. Feed the child till his throat is choked. He can't cry thereafter. Maybe he is hungry, therefore this child is crying. I said, very good, you know already. Now you tell the second one, she must have been a doctor. He must be having abdominal colic. The type of cry that he has, I said, enough. You also know. Then the third one, she was a social worker. In our country, I said, stop there. Now don't start a lecture. See, you can sit up there in the chair or sit here. I have no problem. So then they say, now you tell. I said, you are already told. So the question is over. No, you tell. I said, I do not know, but why not we ask the child directly? He is available there. Why ask someone else when he is available? Let us ask him. I said, hey, why are you crying? Nothing, time pass. Continue. Now tell me, will you say that the child doesn't understand? He is crying, is it not? In the same manner. Why the world is like this? Ask God, who created this world. See, friends, these questions are replied according to the training that we have given to us in thinking. So what training we are given? First training we are given that we are this body. So right from childhood onwards, these samskar are fixed on our mind. That I am a Gujarati, I am a Bengali, I am a Punjabi, I am a Sindhi, I am a Marathi. See? And then I am Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. And then I am good, I am bad, I am pure, others are impure. See? This I learned from one child. I was in somebody's house Gujarati house. So there was a child sitting for breakfast with us. I said, "Hey Gujju, what is your name?" "Swamiji, I am not a Gujju." I said, "Then what are you?" "I am Lohana Kachi." So Kachi also means underwear. I said, "Do you know how to tie a Kachi?" He said, "I don't know." "What is Lohana?" "I don't know." "But who are you?" "Lohana Kachi." Now that goes so deep in our system throughout our life. And we are unable to break that barrier. See, friends, then we start thinking in that line. See? In our childhood, it was not like that. These days, the children, who asked you? See, because we are thinking that way. That's how our training is. In one place, they asked me this question, "Swamiji, please don't make fun of us." I said, "No, I don't have to. You are self-sufficient." The question is, we were, respecting our parents, we were listening to them. Why our children don't respect us and don't listen to us? What is the reason? I said, "You are the children." "No, no, no, we can't ask them. We are afraid of 9/11." "Then you tell." I said, "If I tell you, will you like it? Because I'll tell you the truth." "Don't tell the truth." I said, "We were lucky, we had good parents." "What do you mean?" I said, "I don't mean anything. You decide." See, therefore, we have to drop our ways of thinking, change that ways. And that will happen when we go for satsanga as you have come now. Then, on the spiritual inquiry, there are many steps. Just to summarize it, I'll tell you in short. Our life is a series of experiences, and each experience has three components. One is the world of experience. Second is the experience of the world. And third is the experiencer who is going through the experiences. Three things. Now, to what we give importance determines our life's quality. If we give importance to the world, material world, our whole life will be only running after the things, collecting them, possessions, and that's all. See, nothing beyond it. Whole life will be spent in that. Because we have given importance to that. Then what type of house I have got, what type of car I have got, what type of job I have got, what type of this, that becomes the major focus of our life. Nothing wrong in that, but that becomes the major focus. Now, when we grow little, by analyzing our experiences, we start finding out what we have done till date. When we were not in this world, was there anything lacking? The world was there. When we will leave this world, there will be nothing lacking. So when our prior absence and later absence makes no difference, will our presence will make any difference in this world? Then what for we are in this world? See? Just an example. I am teaching you, I am a teacher, and you are students. Will any one of you get up and ask, "Sir, she has not understood"? Will you say? In a class, we go to learn ourselves, not to bother about others. See? focus attention on yourself. But normally, what happens? We get lost and we imagine social work is spirituality. Social work is not spirituality. It is another way of cheating the world. Work on yourself. And then we start finding out within ourselves what we have achieved till date and what we have done. If we have to write our biography in one line, what we will write? Then we come to know we have been unsuccessfully trying to fulfill our desires. But till date, all our desires stand unfulfilled. When we were children, we wanted the games. Then we are teenagers, another desires, other games. Then middle age, other games. Old age, something or the other. The desires have no end. And whenever a person is not occupied, the virus of desire attacks, like the pollens this season. See, then we want something or the other, something or the other. And what is desire? Be attentive. Desire is, I am in the doctor's house, so I must talk his language. Desire is inflammation of the mind. When a foreign body, let us take in thorn, goes in our foot, it starts giving pain. After some time, the tissue starts reacting. It gets inflamed. It becomes little hot. It becomes painful. Why? Because foreign body has entered. So what is the way out? Take another thorn, remove the first thorn and throw both the thorns. Exactly the same way. When anything enters the mind, that is a foreign body. And that foreign body creates inflammation of the mind. That inflamed mind is called as desire. It is painful. Any desire is painful. And therefore, what we want to do? We want to remove the desire. And we know only one way. Fulfillment of the desire is the only way we know to remove the desire. So, desire one, I fulfilled. Second is standing in the queue. Second desire is fulfilled. Third is standing in the queue. So, our mind is always inflamed. It is never at peace. Think. So, when you start training your mind in terms of how the mind is working, everything we have to learn. Like these girls, I don't know here, I can tell you Indian examples. When the girls, when they have to learn cooking or making chapati, in the modern world, the question asked by the girl and the boy to each other are different. The boy asked the question, do you know karate? He said, yes. Then she asked, do you know parathe? Yes, then you can get married. Here you don't get too many WhatsApp. India is full of WhatsApp and so much of fun, great. In spite of all the difficulties, we are happy. The paradox of modern life. Somebody said me one or two, I'll just tell you to lighten your mind. Earlier, people used to cook and eat at home and go for the toilet outside. But toilets were not inside the house. Now it is the other way around. People go and eat outside and do the toilet at home. आ गया ना मजा? This is life. How funny life is. And we think we are far advanced. Like we have got WWW. Here I come across FFF. You know FFF? Fresh from fridge. It comes out of the fridge, goes into the microwave, and it becomes like a pindadan, and it is given to you. You know the pindadan? When somebody dies, you make a rice ball, and pindadan, and you eat that. Therefore, how we think, we have to learn. So when a girl is wanting to learn to make chapati, first chapati she makes, it becomes New Zealand. Mummy, why my chapati is not like yours? Then she tells me to do this way, that way. Second chapati, it becomes Japan. Not coming, do this way. Then slowly it starts becoming Australia, and then slowly, after many years of practice, it becomes a perfect globe. In South Africa, when I go, I ask those Gujarati ammas, I said, hey, all of you had any chapati making training or what? Because Gujarati chapati is as thick as a papad, and the puri is as big as the button of the shirt. Everywhere the same size, same shape. Exactly. So, to learn a simple thing like chapati, we have to spend time, energy. If we have to learn how to think, for us what happens? Because there are thoughts in the mind, we think we are thinkers. See? To have thoughts in the mind is not being a thinker. People ask us any kind of questions. One question was, somebody asked me, one lady asked me in a college, you know so many things, tell this. I was keeping quiet. They say those who are bald from the front, they are thinkers. And those who are bald from the back, they are wise. But those who are totally bald, what about them? I said, I don't know. No, 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 you have to answer the question. Then I said, okay, they think that they are wise. They are not. How you think? See, this is the beginning of spiritual life. How you think. Avichara kruto bandha vicharena nivartate. All the problems are because of incomplete thinking. Avichar or ajnana or ignorance doesn't mean absence of knowledge. Knowledge can never be absent. There is incompleteness in the knowledge. And the incompleteness in the knowledge is dangerous. See? Knowledge has to be complete. Therefore, when we talk about life, what will be the complete knowledge? See? Complete knowledge will be, now analyze this one sentence and find out who can say this sentence. It's a very simple exercise. I had good sleep, but in between there were bad dreams. Who can make this statement? Can the waker make this statement? He was not in the dream. The waker was experiencing the dream. Waker was not there. Then the waker was not in the deep sleep. The deep sleeper was there. Then who can make this statement? But we do make that statement, isn't it? So who makes it? See? Came to a cuddle sack. what will be the answer? Answer will be the one who is present in the waking without becoming a waker. The one who was present in the dream without becoming a dreamer. Who was present in the deep sleep without going to sleep. He has to be a common person, common factor in all the three experiences. Think. That is complete life. But normally, we take life means what? Only the waking life. What about dream and deep sleep and samadhi? One person asked me, Swamiji, I want to write your autobiography. I said, right. Then she wrote something. She gave it to me. So I said, hey, you have done so much of efforts, and I started tearing each and every page, made it into pieces. I said, you know what you had written is what you do not know about me, not what you know about me. You have written only where I was born, how I was growing, what I have studied. That's what you think. But what about my dreams? You have not included my dreams. You have not included how many hours I have slept. Be attentive. Like for every dream, there is a separate dreamer. In one dream, I was a king. In other dream, I was a beggar. In the third dream, I was a teacher. In the fourth dream, I was a politician. So, has anybody ever written biography of a dreamer? Nobody writes. As for every dream, there is a separate dreamer. For every waking experience, there is a separate waker. Yesterday's I and today's I are not the same, or else we will never change. I, the baby, I, the teenager, I, the middle age, are they one and the same? When I was a child, I was crying for small little toys. Once one of my friend came from Singapore and he came to India and he said, I remember you as a child. You were always crying for the marbles. Now I have come from Singapore and in this place you don't get good marbles. So I got so much of marbles for you. That time I was 35 years of age. Tell me, those marbles which were of so much attraction for me, will they be attracting me at the age of 35? So the one who was a child is not me, but I am the same. Think, think. That is why one of the spiritual practice I'll try to tell you, try. Don't talk about your past. Don't ask anybody about their past. Now try to talk. What we talk is only two things: our total past possessions and relations. The mule carrying the burden of total past possessions and relation is called as ego. Ego means it must go. What are we? Nothing but the burden of the total past. And longer the past, stronger the ego. Stronger the ego, easily we get hurt and insulted. Short the past, 3-4 years child. Hardly there is any possession relation. So he will fight, become angry. Next moment come and forgot everything. Because there is no burden on the head. But as the age grows, we keep on accumulating possessions, relations, and that becomes I. But what about all your dreams? You put also in your autobiography that we don't put. I was born. First bluff. Nobody had the experience of birth. Somebody tells. One child asked me, Swamiji, you love me now? I said, yes. Um, Tell me your date of birth. I want to send you a greeting card. I said, okay, I'll tell you, but in your ear and don't tell anybody. Promise? Promise. Then she went home and told her mother, Mummy, you told Swamiji doesn't tell his date of birth, but he told me. How do you say doesn't say? But he also told me don't tell anybody. But you are my mother, no? So I can always tell you. See? Child. And then she told her mother, this is the date of birth. So for a change, mother was intelligent. And she laughed. She said, Swamiji has fooled you. How come? He said his date of birth is 31st April. There is never 31st April. Oh God, Swamiji cheated me. I'll also cheat him. So she sent me one greeting card. Dear Swamiji, happy birthday, whenever it is. At the end, now guess who am I? And she wrote her name, address. Please reply. How beautiful it is. See, friends, who is born? It is the body that is born. It is the body that was a baby. It was the body that was a teenager. It was the body that was the middle age. It is the body that is old. It is the body that is dying. You are immortal. Whether you want or you don't want, whether you know or you don't know, you are divine. See, my friends, otherwise the same thing, all unwanted question. How does it matter anything happening in this world? Like they read here and there all kinds of things, and then one person asked me this question. Swamiji, you know Ramayana. I said, then why Wali was killed by Bhagwan Rama hiding behind a tree? That is what it comes in Ramayana. I said, come on, yaar. Wali had no problem. Rama had no problem. Why you are worried? You relax. You are not killed. No, but I want to know. I want to know. I said, I don't know. This is what I learned from my Guru. And my Guru is all your children. NRI children, they are my Guru. You ask any NRI child any question. Hey, after schooling, what do you want to take a profession? They will start like, in Gayatri Mantra. Before you say Gayatri Mantra, you have to say Vyavritis. Mantra is what? Tat Saviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayata. But we start with Om Bhur Bhu Swaha. It is not a part of the mantra. It is called Vyavriti. In the same manner, our NRI children, when you ask them, hey, what do you want to take a profession? I don't know. It is such a powerful answer. I adopted from my Guru. So when all these questions come, I do the same. I don't know. Everything is over. Don't collect garbage. It has no meaning. Empty yourself and be happy. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om.